This person is dying from stress right now because you don't know the truth about your. My beloved child, this message comes with a weight so heavy it cannot be ignored. The truth you have been shielded from is pressing down on someone so close to you, and the silence is crushing them. They are drowning in stress right now because you still do not know what has been hidden, and heaven cannot allow you to walk blindly another step. This is not just another whisper in the air, this is the kind of revelation that can split your world open. The one who carries this truth has been holding it inside, and every heartbeat feels like a battle. Their spirit is trembling, their mind is burning, and their body is slowly breaking under the weight of what they never wanted to reveal. You may have noticed the distance, the sudden change in their eyes, the moments where words almost slipped but were swallowed back down. These were not coincidences, they were warnings. Stress is wrapping around their chest like a chain, and the only release is for you to finally learn the truth that has been kept from you. The heavens have sent this message because time is running short, and you cannot afford to ignore the signs. This secret, once uncovered, will not only save them but will also reshape your entire path. Their suffering is a silent cry for your attention, and right now, destiny is begging you not to turn away. Type Amen to get blessing 333. The truth you are about to uncover is not meant to destroy you, it is meant to awaken you. The pain in their heart is a reflection of the lies and shadows that have been surrounding your life. The closer the truth comes, the more unbearable the silence becomes, and it is reaching the breaking point. Do not mistake their silence for peace. Inside, they are fighting battles that you cannot see, battles that are stripping away their strength. Heaven is stepping in because what was hidden is too great for you to remain blind to, and the breaking of this silence will be the turning point. This person has been carrying a truth about your life that could change everything in an instant. They believed they could hold it until the right time, but stress has poisoned their days and nights. If this truth does not surface, it will consume them entirely. My beloved child, you are being called to open your eyes now before regret becomes the only thing left. The truth is heavy, but it is also your key to freedom, and the one who suffers is depending on you to hear this message. Heaven says, your moment is now. Type Amen to get blessing 444. My beloved child, listen deeper now as the veil begins to peel away, for what was hidden is nearer than you imagine. The weight that crushes them is not a single thing but a tangle of choices and silence that grew like a shadow under the floorboards of your life. Each day they swallowed another lie to protect you, and each night the cost of that protection ate a little more of their breath. There were promises made in whispers that never found the light, and debts carried like stones in pockets that were never meant to be heavy. They paced rooms at midnight tracing memories with trembling fingers, trying to find where truth had slipped through the cracks. The fear in their throat is a living thing now, and it presses against every attempt at sleep. They rehearsed confessions that never left their lips because the hurt of letting you see would be greater than the hurt of holding it inside. What they hide is braided with love and shame, and those two threads have strangled their courage. The secret is a mirror they cannot look into without seeing how many pieces will fall. Time has turned their silence into an illness, and heaven cannot sit idle while the soul of someone you love is unraveling. This message reaches you because your voice can be the medicine that loosens what has tightened into despair. Do not delay a single heartbeat in hearing what must be heard. Type Amen to get blessing 555. They kept receipts of heartache folded into drawers, numbers and names that burned when touched, small betrayals dressed as favors. Every hidden ledger dragged them closer to a point where no breath seemed clean, where even prayer felt like splinters. They began to shrink from their own reflection, convinced the truth would make them unlovable. Listen as the quiet reveals its edges, the late calls that ended with silence, the packages left at strange hours, the sudden trips that returned with a new hardness in their eyes. Each of these was a thread pulled from the tapestry of trust, and those threads now threaten the whole cloth. They feared your judgment more than their suffering, and that fear has become a slow-burning fever. This moment is an invitation to move towards them with steadiness rather than recoil, to show that truth will not be the end but a first breath of something honest. Your presence is the shelter their heart has been craving, the steady hand that can help them put down the stones they have carried alone. When they finally speak, meet them with the calm that mends. They are at the edge of confession because their body is speaking for what their lips could not bear, and the signs are written across their face in lines of fatigue. Their chest heaves as if carrying a second life, and their eyes carry the patient sorrow of someone who knows the cost of hiding. This burden was never theirs to carry alone, and by letting it go they will find a way back to breath. Type Amen to get blessing 666. Archangel Michael says, "Come now with courage, because heaven has already begun to tilt the scales in your favor. The way forward will not be painless, but it will be purifying, and every truthful step will lighten what feels like an impossible load. Stand with them through the first ugly moments, and do not leave when the wound shows its rawness. The truth they hold will ask you to forgive things that were tangled and confusing, and it will ask you to make choices that honor both honesty and healing. There will be faces of regret and the small desperate apologies that spill out in the dark, and those moments will be the beginning of repair if you allow them to be. Let your response be the steady shore they can return to when the storm has passed. They have planned for a brave silence because they feared losing you more than losing themselves, and that fear has become a slow poison. Your willingness to receive the truth without flinching will be the antidote they did not think they deserved. Move gently, move firmly, and refuse to let shame be their final companion. When you listen without judgment, you heal not only what they hid but also the place inside you that needed to know. Truth, when met with mercy, becomes a bridge rather than a blade. Choose to cross toward them and you will find that the ground is steadier than you feared. Type Amen to get blessing 777. The coming days will ask for patience, for conversations that stretch into the small hours and for tears that must be walked through together. There will be practical reckonings, letters to be opened, accounts to be examined, apologies to be shaped into actions, and you will need grace to hold their trembling hands through it all. This is not a moment for hasty endings but for careful mending. You may discover that what was hidden is not as monstrous as the silence made it seem, and you may find that some things can be repaired with honesty and steady effort. There will also be truths that change the map of your life, pathways that were once certain now rerouted by reality, and you will need wisdom to navigate the new terrain. Let your compass be compassion and your footsteps measured. Do not let pride pull you back from the work of restoration, and do not let fear decide for you. Your reaction now will set the rhythm for their recovery, and the steadiness of your heart will teach their own heart how to beat again. Risk tenderness, it will return more life than you can imagine. The heavens are watching this exchange, and they lean in when love chooses to listen instead of to condemn. Open the door they have closed for so long and allow light to move through the rooms of their soul. In that light, truth loses its power to destroy and gains the power to heal. Type Amen to get blessing 888. As you step into this sacred work, remember that boundaries are part of love and that protection can be gentle. There will be moments when you must say no to behaviors that harm, and this will be an act of care rather than punishment. Hold them close while also holding the line that keeps both of you safe. Create a quiet plan, small rituals of honesty, regular check-ins that are tender but firm, and a shared practice of naming progress instead of only rehearsing pain. Encourage them toward counsel, toward people who can carry some of the load, and toward practical steps that untangle the knots they could not loosen alone. You are not meant to be their only harbor. In the days to come, watch for signs of renewal, a fuller breath, laughter that returns like a surprised bird, sleep that does not break at the memory of secrets. Celebrate the small restorations as fiercely as any triumph, for they mark the steady work of healing. Your patience will be the scaffolding on which their new life is built. When the storm passes, write down what you both learned so it does not slip back into silence. Make space for rituals that honor the truth spoken and the courage it took to speak it, and let gratitude be a daily thread in the tapestry you weave together. This is the new covenant between you, truth held with mercy. Type Amen to get blessing 999. My beloved child, the voice of heaven still presses into your spirit, urging you not to turn away. The weight of this truth is like a locked chest that has been hidden in plain sight, waiting for the right moment to open. That moment is now, because their silence has reached the edge where stress could take what words still cannot say. The one you love has been wearing a mask, smiling when their heart was cracking, speaking lightly while their chest burned under the pressure of unspoken words. They thought they could endure until the right time, but the right time never came, and now their body betrays their endurance. Sleepless nights, restless thoughts, trembling hands, all of it is proof that they are crumbling under the weight of keeping you in the dark. You may feel the ache without knowing the cause, sensing something shifting but unable to name it. That is heaven whispering, drawing your heart toward a revelation you cannot escape. The truth is tangled with your destiny, and until it is revealed, both of you remain trapped in a storm that will not pass. Archangel Michael says, do not let another day slip by without opening your heart to what is being placed before you. The truth is coming not to break you but to free you, and your willingness to face it will determine the healing that follows. This is the hour when courage must speak louder than fear. Type Amen to get blessing 1111. Their silence has carved hollows in their soul, and the stress is no longer hidden, it is written across their face in lines of fatigue. They carry guilt like a stone in their chest, convinced that the truth will sever the bond you share. Yet heaven reveals that your bond is stronger than they realize, and the truth will not end it but refine it. Listen carefully, for the signs have been around you, the distracted eyes, the unfinished sentences, the sudden absences when you needed them near. These were warnings, not betrayals, because their love for you fought against their fear. They were protecting you in the wrong way, by hiding instead of confessing. The revelation will sting, yes, but only for a moment, because honesty carries the balm that deception never could. When the words finally leave their lips, you will see how much their soul longed to breathe again. The silence is breaking, and with it, healing will pour like rain. My beloved child, lean closer now, because this truth is a key. If you turn it with mercy, the door it opens will not only release them from torment but will release you from the shadows you didn't even know bound you. What is revealed will become the seed of a new beginning. Type Amen to get blessing 1212. The path ahead is not smooth, but it is holy. You will face conversations that shake your voice, truths that ripple through your memory, and moments when tears will rise before words. Yet each of these moments is proof that healing has begun. Do not fear the cracks that show, because cracks are where the light enters. The one who suffers is not your enemy, they are your mirror, showing you the cost of hiding. By receiving their truth with compassion, you teach them that love is stronger than shame. Heaven reminds you that silence kills, but truth revives. The stress that is suffocating them can only be undone by your courage to stand in the storm without flinching. Be their anchor now, for they have no strength left to stand alone. When the truth comes, hold their trembling words like glass, fragile, sharp, but capable of becoming something beautiful if treated with care. Your role is not to judge, but to listen, to steady, and to breathe hope where they have only known despair. Type Amen to get blessing 1313. My beloved child, heaven is not finished revealing what must be spoken. The secret that weighs so heavily is pressing against the very breath of the one who carries it. Every second they hold it inside, their body grows weaker, their spirit more restless, their soul more desperate for release. The sleepless nights are not random, they are battles fought in silence, wars waged against shadows that whisper, "Don't tell." Their trembling hands and tired eyes have been begging you to notice, to see past the mask. Stress is stealing their life force moment by moment, and heaven says you cannot let this continue unspoken. The truth is sharper than silence, yet it heals faster than a lie. When it finally rises from their lips, you will feel the weight leave not only their chest but your own. This is not a confession meant to ruin you, it is a revelation meant to set both of you free. Archangel Michael says, "Be brave when it comes, for your courage will be the pillar that keeps them from collapsing." Heaven is moving through this moment, guiding you to receive what was hidden with mercy rather than anger. In this, you will save them from the edge they are standing on. Type Amen to get blessing 1414. You will remember the moment forever, the trembling voice, the breaking tone, the tears that will fall as words spill out like a flood. Do not interrupt, do not retreat, for their soul is emptying the poison it could not carry alone. Your silence, your steady gaze, your listening heart will be the balm they never thought they deserved. This truth has been circling around you for longer than you realize, disguised in coincidences and small warnings. You may have brushed them aside, thinking it was nothing, but heaven says every sign was part of the map leading here. Now the map is complete, and the destination is honesty. Stress has stolen too many days, too many breaths, too many moments of peace. It ends when light enters. The one who suffers is not seeking pity, they are seeking release, and you are the one heaven has chosen to help them step into it. My beloved child, when the words come, meet them not with shock but with steadiness. For in that steadiness, their heart will finally believe they are safe. And safety is what will pull them back from the brink. Type Amen to get blessing 1515. They are not dying because of sickness in the body but because of sickness in the soul, the sickness of silence. Stress has become the chain that binds their every movement, and only truth will break it. You hold the key without realizing it, the key of compassion, the key of listening, the key of mercy. Heaven says, you will not lose by hearing, but you will lose everything if you turn away. The moment you lean in and accept, the chains will shatter, and what seemed like the end will become the beginning. Do not delay, because their time is thin. The angels have surrounded them, even in their weakest hours, whispering strength when none was left. But now the angels call you, for heaven's work is not finished without your presence. Your courage completes the circle. Stand ready, my beloved child. For when the truth arrives, you will see tears turn to breath, stress turn to peace, and silence turn into a song of freedom. The one you love will rise again, not broken, but reborn. Type Amen to get blessing 1616. My beloved child, the air around them has been heavy for too long, and every small breath feels borrowed. They have walked corridors of memory collecting fragments that pinched like thorns, each one a quiet accusation that never found a voice. Now those fragments are gathering into a storm that will break unless you meet it with gentle hands. Their laugh has become a careful thing, measured and small, because the real music of their heart has been muffled by regret. You may notice them pause at doorways, eyes distant as if watching a film only they can see, and that distance is the secret pressing inward. What you receive now will not be the ruin they feared but the beginning of a gentler truth. They have rehearsed the moment of revealing like a prayer, afraid of the echo that follows honesty, terrified that the echo will be rejection. Yet what trembles more than their voice is the hope that you might stay even when the truth is ugly and uneven. Your steady presence will be the miracle that lets trembling words settle into something whole. They have been carrying this weight alone because they thought your love could not survive the light, and that lie is the cruelest among all. The act of hiding became a misguided kindness that slowly eroded them from the inside, turning protection into poison. Now, held in your hands, truth will become the salve that begins to knit them back together. Type Amen to get blessing 1717. In the hush of the night they counted breaths like beads, each one a small victory and a quiet surrender. The shame that sat beside them was a cold companion, whispering that confession would only cause more harm. Heaven insists that confession, met with mercy, births a new kind of courage that neither of you had yet tasted. There will be things to untangle, talks to have that feel like pulling at a seam, documents to read that sting at first, small betrayals that look like mistakes when seen in daylight. None of these will be simple, and some will demand that you both become architects of repair rather than judges of blame. If you can build with patience, the structure will hold. Do not let the fear of change push you into silence, because silence has already stolen too much. When truth is given, receive it like a fragile offering and place it on the altar of kindness. In that kind of receiving, both of you will find room to breathe again. They are exhausted from lugging a secret that was never theirs to guard alone, and their body is beginning to show the price of that burden. Let your arms be the place where they no longer need to stand watch. Together you will learn to set the weight down, piece by piece. Type Amen to get blessing 1818. There will be hard mornings after confessions, times when the world seems to rearrange itself into unfamiliar shapes and choices must be made. Walk those mornings with hands unclenched and voices that speak repair instead of retribution. Small consistent acts of care will outlast grand promises. You will be asked to forgive things that are messy and human, to separate intention from action and to find the soft line between harm and ignorance. Forgiveness is not forgetting, it is choosing to move forward with eyes open and boundaries set. Love that survives truth is the love that has learned how to shelter itself and the other. When doubt rises like a tide, remember the nights they stayed awake for you, the times they chose you in small ways that never made headlines. Those small choices are the map back to one another when the big map seems lost. Trust the pattern of their life as well as the confession you receive. There will be moments of anger that flare like sudden weather, let them pass through without becoming a permanent climate. Anger asked for expression but not for annihilation can be a teacher, revealing what needs repair and what needs release. Stay present through the heat and allow coolness to follow. Type Amen to get blessing 1919. Hold fast to ritual during the aftermath. Simple things like morning tea shared without phones, a note left on the pillow, a small walk where speech is not required. These rituals will become anchors when memories try to drift you apart. In time, the ordinary acts of care will stitch ordinary days back into a life that feels safe. Seek help where wounds are deep. Counsel and wise friends are not signs of failure but of courage to rebuild with good tools. Invite help into the process so that neither of you becomes the lone builder of a heavy house. Two hands and steady guidance will make the restoration both faster and more sure. As the truth settles into the light, you will notice small changes: better sleep, a lighter step, quick laughter that surprises you both. Celebrate these signs fiercely, for they mark the slow return of a soul that thought silence was the only protection. Your gratitude will fertilize the ground where new trust grows. Keep a ledger of kindness, little lists of improvements, apologies that were followed by acts, steps taken toward change, and read them on dark days to remind yourselves of progress. Progress is often invisible until catalogued, and a written record will help you both remember how far you have come. Type Amen to get blessing 2020. My beloved child, the story does not end here. Heaven is still unfolding it before your eyes. The truth that almost destroyed them will now become the bridge that carries both of you into a season of renewal. What was once a silent prison is breaking open, and light is pouring into the cracks. The days ahead will not be easy, but they will be holy. Stress that once clung to their chest like a shadow will begin to loosen its grip as they taste freedom in confession. Your presence will be the medicine that keeps them steady when their own strength begins to falter. You will notice their face soften in ways you had forgotten, their shoulders finally drop after years of carrying weight they were never meant to hold. This softening is not weakness but rebirth, the slow return of peace to a soul that had lived too long in silence. And you, my beloved, are the witness chosen to see this resurrection. Archangel Michael says, "Remain close, for heaven has given you the mantle of protector and listener in this hour." Do not underestimate how powerful your listening heart will be. It can heal wounds that words alone could not. In your patience lies their survival. Type Amen to get blessing 2121. The moments after confession will feel tender, as though the very air is fragile. Walk gently, speak slowly, and let silence be a friend rather than a threat. You do not need to fill every pause. Sometimes quiet presence is the loudest declaration of love. There will be questions rising in your mind, but heaven warns, do not let questions turn into accusations. Curiosity can heal, suspicion can wound further. Choose carefully which words to give your breath to, for every word spoken now becomes either a balm or a blade. The stress that once nearly killed them will not vanish in a single night, but each day of honesty will unwind its grip. Healing is a slow dance, but every step counts, and you are being invited to lead with grace. Be patient with the pace, and you will see the miracle. Remember, my beloved child, heaven has not abandoned you in this process. Angels walk beside you, softening the path, catching the tears, and whispering courage when your heart feels weak. You are not alone, and neither are they. Type Amen to get blessing 2222. You will come to see that the stress was not only theirs but yours as well, hidden beneath the surface of your days. As their burden lifts, so will yours, and both of you will discover a peace you had forgotten existed. Stress that once poisoned the air will be replaced by breath that feels clean again. Hold fast to this. What was nearly lost is now being restored. And restoration does not simply bring things back to what they were, it makes them stronger, wiser, more unshakable. This is the promise being spoken over you now. One day soon you will look back on this moment and see not only the pain but the divine rescue woven through it. You will see how close they came to breaking, and how heaven intervened by guiding your eyes to the truth. That memory will stay with you, not as sorrow, but as proof of grace. Type Amen to get blessing 2323. There is still more work to do, my beloved child, but you are not called to carry it all alone. Heaven is orchestrating support around you, voices of counsel, shoulders to lean on, signs that remind you both of the progress made. Look for them, for they will come when most needed.